Ubisoft would love to make an Assassin's Creed game in China, according to the CEO, and he talks even more about some interesting stuff in an interview with a Chinese outlet. Plus, I wanted to add something that I learned from my interview with Bruno, the live content director on Odyssey, regarding the fact that this will indeed be the first time since 2009 that we will not get an Assassin's Creed product in the fall. So let's get into it. It would be awesome if you could leave a like on the video as it shows your support. And let's go. China Joy is going on right now. It's like Gamescom for China from the looks of it, with almost 135,000 visitors, according to Daniel Ahmed on Twitter. Either way, since China is a huge market that is pretty much untouched by Western gaming companies, Ubisoft wants to get a piece of the pie as well. Something that really shows their dedication is the fact that they just announced a brand new China exclusive Rabbids game for the Nintendo Switch that is also made by a Ubisoft Chinese studio. And the Ubisoft CEO Yves Guillemot was also there at China Joy and interviewed by a Chinese outlet Gamer Sky about the future, and really the first question that they asked was regarding an Assassin's Creed game set in China, if that would ever happen. I left a link to the full interview in the description of this video, so you can check it out in full if you want, but let's hear what he had to say regarding Assassin's Creed in China.
We would love to do that, so I can't tell you more today. We think it would be fantastic to also come in China. So I can't give you a clear answer, but it is something we would love to do at some point.
He also briefly touches on the spin-off Assassin's Creed Chronicles that was of course set in China, but we are here talking about a mainline game. A mainline game like Odyssey, Origins, Syndicate, but set in China. I mean, looking at this quote, I really think that it's a matter of time, especially now that China is allowing more and more games. And like I said, it's a major market where Ubisoft can really grow in. And what would be a better way to do it than to make an Assassin's Creed game set in China? The Ubisoft CEO also notes in that interview that Assassin's Creed now has 6 studios all over the world working on the franchise, and that is great to get multiple influences from the different countries. I think we could say that this page that was released last year in March during GDC is still pretty accurate, although this page does show multiple teams inside one studio, while again there are 6 all over the world helping the 2 core teams, one in Quebec and the other core team is obviously Montreal Free. They made Black Flag, Assassin's Creed Origins, the team is led by Ashraf Ismail, and they are next with the rumored Viking game likely for the fall of 2020. So then Ubisoft Quebec, the Assassin's Creed Odyssey team, so this page was made before Odyssey was announced, so obviously it was not there, but it would be there next to Syndicate. So they will be up next, likely after the Vikings game, and I recently made a video on Mike Laidlaw, the BioWare veteran who joined Ubisoft Quebec just after the release of Odyssey. He was one of the key people behind Dragon Age, and in that video I showed a lot of reasons why I think he's working on the next Assassin's Creed. And he would especially be the right person for a Chinese Assassin's Creed game because he was also a writer on Jade Empire, a game set in a world with Chinese mythology. It's actually the first game that Ubisoft themselves note on the website about the news that Mike joined Ubisoft Quebec. So they noted before Mass Effect, while Mass Effect is obviously a way bigger deal. Am I looking way too much into this? Yes, I think I am. Either way, I just want to say that I think he would be a perfect fit for a Chinese Assassin's Creed game. They are working on something over there alongside Gods and Monsters that was announced at E3. Sure, the biggest part of the Odyssey team is on that project, but Mike Laidlaw's project is still unannounced. Just like the project from Daniel, a presentation art director at Ubisoft Quebec. He worked on Assassin's Creed Odyssey and Syndicate and now on So yes, that is an unannounced game and not Gods and Monsters, because every other Ubisoft Quebec employee who is working on Gods and Monsters has that in their bio. Either way, Daniel put up a job listing for a full-time environment concept artist that cannot be for Gods and Monsters, as that game is already coming out at the end of February. So they don't need a concept artist for that, while the new Assassin's Creed game is likely still in early production. So it makes a ton of sense that they need a concept artist for that game. I know it's weird to already talk about the Assassin's Creed after the Viking Assassin's Creed, when that Viking Assassin's Creed game is not even confirmed yet, it's not even announced yet. But with the Ubisoft CEO saying that they want to make an Assassin's Creed game in China, that they would love to do that, I just wanted to share why I think it could be the Assassin's Creed game after the Vikings one. It has really been one of the most requested time periods, just like Japan, and Ubisoft now has an extra incentive to do so because they want to break into that Chinese market. And they also already kind of toyed around with the Chinese Assassin's Creed idea with the Eastern Dynasty pack that they released for Origins. We will have to wait a long time though before we know more about that Ubisoft Quebec next Assassin's Creed game. First, again, the Viking game. I expect a reveal in maybe May 2020, so it's still far off. In the meantime, we still got some Odyssey content, of course, to look forward to. But this will be the first fall since 2009 that we will not have an Assassin's Creed product, because Assassin's Creed 2 came out in 2009, and since then we had a new Assassin's Creed game in every fall of every year, with in the in-between years, so between Syndicate and Origins, we had of course the Ezio collection with all the Ezio games for the PS4 and Xbox One. Bruno, the live content director, indeed confirmed to me that we will not see an Assassin's Creed release in the fall of this year, unless you call the Discovery Tour, but yeah, that's more like a sort of separate mode for Odyssey, while you can buy a standalone version on the PC. Of course, it's not really a year without Assassin's Creed. We still had Assassin's Creed 3 Remastered earlier this year, but yeah, typically we see an Assassin's Creed game in the fall as well, and that will likely happen next year. When we know more, I will of course let you know here. There are actually some interesting rumors going around about Assassin's Creed Kingdom, so the rumored Viking game. I want to touch on those rumors in a future video, so keep it locked to the channel for that. Subscribe to miss nothing regarding the future of Assassin's Creed and Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Like this video to support channel, and totally check out that previous video on more theories why I think that the BioWare veteran is working on the next Assassin's Creed. For now though, I will speak to you next time. Let me know in the comments down below if you want to see an Assassin's Creed game set in China, and goodbye.